those what the hell days. And I will say this right now, I called it last night. Lynch did not charge Clinton, which is a fucking garbage. But needless to say, moving that forward, we could talk about politics all day. But that's for Tuesdays, and I've already burned out my politics for Tuesday for the week. I've played my political card for the week, and I'm not allowed to do that anymore according to people in the House. That being said, it's going to be an interesting day. I don't know where to start with movies, TV, or wrestling. I'm probably going to start with movies. Apparently Chris Hemsworth is now saying that Chris Hemsworth is now showing pictures and video of the very first filming of Thor Ragnarok, which Thor Ragnarok will be interesting. I cannot wait to see what that looks like. And there's some other things that came out today. Apparently, there's now a black female Iron Man. Yeah, I guess they're doing this thing that they're going to... Currently, right now, the current Marvel Star Trek is the Civil War II. And I guess we now have character Riri Williams, who is a 15-year-old science genius at MIT, and she's already reverse engineered an Iron Man suit in her dorm room. So she's becoming Iron Man after Civil War II. Which, again, I don't mind the black superhero thing, but I don't like this whole let's change the gender and let's change things around. Like, I don't
have a problem with it.
I do a little bit.
It's probably they're going to keep the same Iron Man comic and just have another one.
They probably will. They've done the same thing with Miles Morales and Spider-Man. Miles Morales is a African-American kid who is Spider-Man, but he was Spider-Man in a different universe, but now he is another form of Spider-Man. The whole Secret Wars thing kind of just imploded. What's happened with Secret Wars is that they kind of just blew up. Basically, they took all the Marvel Universe, all the different Marvel Universe, the 616 and stuff like that. Miles Morales is Spider-Man of Earth 610 or 610. Where Peter Parker is the Spider-Man of the current one. They killed the Ultimate Spider-Man in 2011. And so what happened was they have a new character named Miles Morales who is a black Hispanic kid who is now the Ultimate Spider-Man. Because the Ultimate Universe, which I've never liked, the Ultimate Universe. But he still has the same powers. The problem is that he has the same ability, but he was bitten by a spider that was genetically engineered by Norman Osborn. So that's how he got his spider powers. So the Green Goblin's involved in making another Spider-Man. And I do like that that's something they did for Spider-Man. They changed it from radioactive spider to genetic spider. And now that he's part of the 616, he is part of the Avengers. He still acts as Spider-Man in New York City as Peter Parker runs around with the Avengers, the Fantastic Four, and stuff like that. So he's still Spider-Man, but it's one of those where I kind of just, I don't care. Like when they came out and said that the Falcon was going to become Captain America, I had no problem with the Falcon becoming Captain America. When they had the female Thor, I'm like,
Well, there's plenty of sex changing going on in Norse mythology.
If that's true, then that's fine. And then, you know, then you had Miles Morales, the Falcon taking over Captain America, and the female Thor. The female Thor I had no issue with. Miles Morales was like, it's Ultimate Universe, I don't care. And, you know, Falcon becoming Captain America, it works because the Falcon was always with Captain America, so when Captain America kind of went away, it worked.
If they wanted to do a Black Iron Man, why don't they just have War Machine step up?
That's what they did. James Rhodes was Iron Man for a while, and he took the War Machine suit until Tony went to rehab. The Avengers got together and go, Tony, you're drinking too much. We can't let you be Iron Man. And they literally made him go to rehab.
Let's see. If I had a power suit of armor and drank, I can't imagine what I think would be a good idea with that.
So that scene in Iron Man 2 where he gets wasted in the suit and is shooting places, that's really from comics, because that really did happen in the comics. Tony got that wasted. But then again, I'll also try to say this myself with him, with this whole thing with, you know, weird costumes. I don't know about this whole Riri Williams. You know, it's if this Riri Williams takes off and people like it, cool. But I don't see it transitioning into the movies, because there are two types of comic book fans. You have the ones who read every issue, and then you have the movie watchers. And the movie watchers are kind of the
Does anyone else have the Weird Al song going through their mind?
what one?
Ode to a Superhero?
Oh yeah. But it works for the movie Spider-Man. Oh, and you're listening to this while you're playing Pokemon Go. Really?
I'm not playing Pokemon Go. I have a Windows device in front of me.
And I'm surprised it's running, because when it was Pokemon Go has been crashing all day.
Well, I'm pretty sure someone in this house is playing it.
Not me.
She can't because it keeps crashing on her. Shannon tried, but it keeps crashing on her. Robin's phone is an ancient piece of shit.
And it's got 15 Pokemon though.
You can check the back app. Also, I got good news today. We are doing 2 panels at CILCon. That's going to be later on in the show. What we're going to be doing with that. One of them is going to be Let's Play based.
Yeah.
The first one's going to be first one's going to be the interesting one, which we need help with other people for it to get it set up.
To me, doing Let's Plays or watching Let's Plays is like watching sports. I'd rather just play the game.
But again, there's fun Let's Plays and there's really shitty Let's Plays. Like when someone's trying to go through and complete the game, I can sit back and watch those. Unless the person's entertaining and they talk the whole time. There are the 2 types of Let's Plays. There's the I will narrate everything and I try to make it interesting. Then you have the ones that don't want to talk the whole time, they just play the game. You probably watch a lot of them where it's just them playing and you don't hear any background.
I just don't really like them. That's it.
I try to be interesting in mine.
It's like watching sports. It's just not that interesting to me.
Well, sports are interesting as hell. Hey, it's a David! We missed the David.
Hello, David.
We missed the David. But esports is... Okay, I can't stand the idea of esports, personally. I think esports is really dumb. I don't understand why these 4 guys should get paid, you know, $1 million because they're really good at League of Legends. Which
Yeah, it's
reminds me,
PvP, not that interesting to me.
which that reminds me, next Sunday, ESPN is going to be showing EVO, which is a big esports tournament. They're going to show a Street Fighter V tournament. ESPN has not showed a video game tournament in 15 years. think the last one they showed was like a Halo tournament.
I could see Dance Dance Revolution.
Hey, no quoting good songs in the chat. But yeah, I guess they're doing a relaunch. I guess they're preparing, the whole thing with this Iron Man thing, I guess they're preparing for the relaunch after Civil War. I don't know about any of that stuff. I know that the new, when Neil Blomkamp makes his Alien movie, which he's supposed to be making, he's making a new Aliens movie that will completely erase 2 movies out of the continuity. And thank God, because those movies are horrible. Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection are getting completely erased from the continuity.
Prometheus wasn't very good.
Prometheus wasn't good. I'll give you that. I don't like Prometheus.
It was better than Alien Resurrection, but
Alien Resurrection is getting removed, and Alien 3 are going away. Those movies need to go away. I never understood Alien 3, like, why? Like, I like the original idea of it, which you could tell where Fox fucked with things in that movie very easily. The original ideas I know Fox had for that movie was, first, Ripley was supposed to land on a planet that was held by monks, like Gregorian monks on a planet. 2, that Hicks would be there, but Hicks would die because he'd piss off the monks, and the monks would kill him. And Newt would be immediately sent away to an orphanage to get her out of the continuity as fast as they could. And then the movie would focus on Ripley, and they'd think that she would bind herself down and make herself look like a man to survive there with the alien.
oh come on, they had Sigourney Weaver in her prime. They weren't going to do that.
No, they decided to make this stupid prison thing and make her shave her head and then have the infamous end scene, which the last scene of that movie is fucking great, where she's like flipping off the rest of the people and jumping into the flaming pit with the thing bursting out of her chest. That was a great moment for that movie.
I only finally watched Alien last year, so
Who did? Oh. Wait, who finally watched Alien last year?
I only finally watched Alien last year.
Oh, David did?
Me.
Oh, you did? Wait, it took you this long to watch Alien? Really?
Well, the only reason I watched it is because someone came across it passing the bed shell test, and I wondered what that was.
Alien's great. Like,
But the bed shell test is just... It has to have a woman in it, and there have to be conversations the woman is having with other females that aren't about a male character.
and it does pass that test.
And it does.
I'm only here for a few minutes.
We're discussing the Alien movies.
I don't know.
Jessie has seen the second one. She's seen Aliens. She's never seen Alien. And actually, Aliens passed the Bechdel test too, because Ripley and Newt have a conversation that does not involve the males in the room. And there are multiple females in that movie. Thank you very much. And also it has the most ultimate comeback by a female ever.
That is.
Where the first scene where the Space Marines all wake up with their LV-427, and like Diaz starts doing doing pull-ups, and that one guy's like, "Hey Diaz, you ever get mistaken for a man?" And she's like, "No, have you?" Boom, right at him. I'm like, that's fucking awesome. But yet, I don't know why feminists don't immediately, they don't run to, they want to try to put Ripley there, but Ripley has to have Hicks save her. Diaz is like shooting everything, is like, fuck this, and murdering everything. That's your feminist role model for the fucking movie. But then again, it convinced women to shave their
Well,
heads.
when I was watching Alien, I just wanted Jonesy to survive.
The cat?
I didn't care about Ripley.
The cat survives.
Yes, the cat survives, as does Ripley and the alien.
No, the alien goes away.
Oh no, the alien survives.
How did the alien survive? They shoot it out an airlock.
Oh, excuse me.
It gets on the shuttle.
It may have gotten on the shuttle, but she still kills it.
And you see it alive later.
Unless there's a post-credit scene.
Just like you see an alien at the end of Prometheus.
Yeah, you see one of the xenomorphs at the end of Prometheus.
And you find out the ship's going to the asteroid
Yeah.
they visit in the first movie.
Which I've never seen Aliens versus Prometheus or
Prometheus.
Prometheus. I've never seen that yet. I mean,
Prometheus deals a lot with the weird they deal with the beginning where they land on LD-427. You know, the second then you have Aliens, which eventually again a scavenger crew falls upon LD-427 to get
excuse me.
that find an egg. Someone decides to stick their fucking head over it. It gets attached to them, brings them aboard the ship, only to find out that the android was to bring that back to the Weyland-Yutani Corporation so they could make a bioweapon out of it. We didn't have a night where we list the top evil corporations in all of geekdom. Because
Shinra.
Shinra's not as bad. Shinra's not as bad.
I bet.
Weyland-Yutani's way worse than fucking Shinra.
Well, Shinra has to be in there. Umbrella.
Umbrella has to be in there. Which, as soon as I get the Jeep back, I'm basically outfitting it as Umbrella security. Which I'll get told to take off at work, but I don't give a fuck. I think this one and then it's really bad. LexCorp. LexCorp has to be in there. How about Wayne Enterprises? Wayne Enterprises is an evil corporation.
It's pretty evil if you're watching Gotham
Yeah.
Excuse me.
before Bruce Wayne gets control of it.
Yeah. Stark Industries. Stark Industries before Tony takes control of it. I really can't think of any others. Oh, the corporation that the fucking guy who becomes Yellow Jacket is running in Ant-Man. But then you find all these weird ones when you go from there. I really gotta work on it. But yeah, apparently this Neil Blomkamp movie it's going to be a new Alien sequel, and so far the people who have signed on to be in it is, well, they haven't said, we know that Sigourney Weaver said she'll do it. And then, let's see here. We know Sigourney Weaver will do it. I don't know who else is going to be in it. But I really did not like, I'll admit, I didn't like Alien 3. I liked the idea of Alien Resurrection. But the only thing I really liked about Alien Resurrection was Ron Perlman, because Ron Perlman's a gem as an actor.
Well, Hellboy 3 is still being worked on.
Hellboy 3 is in developmental hell.
He's also left-handed,
Yeah.
which...
And he also is willing to put on the 7 hours of makeup to go hang out with a kid who has cancer.
No, most people would have skipped the makeup. But...
No. The kid wanted to be Hellboy, and Ron Perlman's like, well, he wants to be Hellboy. Let's let him be Hellboy.
Actually, also does the voices for the Hellboy movies, which isn't unusual. But...
Well, it's because he loves the movie.
No, I mean the animated.
Yeah, that's because Ron Perlman's a fan of the comic. How many times do you get to, make something you truly love? Oh, I don't know. I can think of one other person who made something they truly loved. Ryan Reynolds got Deadpool, and Ryan Reynolds got Deadpool to how he wanted it. Oh. And also, really honestly, if you look at Hellboy 2, that is the most Changeling-esque movie ever. Yeah, you get Changeling.
Maleficent is close.
Maleficent's close, but you get more.
I don't think Hellboy 2 is very Changeling-esque.
It is. Like when they walk into literally a goblin market.
And then there's a sci-fi one that they did called Black Forest, and I think that's a perfect Changeling plot.
That, and you also had Tin Man, which fits too. I had a love-hate for Tin Man.
Is that the dark thing sci-fi did?
No, it was sci-fi trying to retell The Wizard of Oz. But it's really fucked up. Like, the Tin Man's not a Tin Man, he's actually he's a police officer, aka a Tin Man. It's really goofy. I've never understood it. I know my ex, she was all about going to go see that.
Are you sure there isn't a sci-fi movie called Tin Man where it's just like The Wizard of Oz, but a dark version of it?
Tin Man. Yeah, it's called Tin Man. It was a miniseries made by it, where like the main character's named DG, and she's a small town waitress that's from Kansas and doesn't feel like she fits here. It's completely fucked up.
Well, if Netflix has it, I'll have to watch it.
I don't know if Netflix has it.
They did have it at some point. I don't know if they still do.
They probably do. But here's the list of the people who were in the movie. I mean, Zoe Deschanel, Richard Dreyfuss. Yeah, really, that's about the only two real actors that were really known for being in that shit. They had to be careful with this because you gotta remember what evil corporation also owns the rights to The Wizard of Oz.
Disney?
Yeah. And Disney has been salivating for years for Warner Bros. To fuck up and lose their rights to the 1939 Wizard of Oz.
And Warner Brothers won't do that just to thumb their nose at Disney.
Yeah, they won't. Same as my only other problem with Warner Brothers is every time they release a cartoon compilation, it always has to have that warning: these cartoons are racist put on it. Do I really need a 20-minute speech from Whoopi Goldberg about how Mammy Two Shoes was racist, or how Bugs Bunny beating up the Japanese and obviously a World War II propaganda cartoon is racist? Because I'm sorry, I find that shit hilarious. Call me racist, but I find Bugs Bunny dressing in drag as a geisha to bring over a giant... Oh yeah.
Hey, if it weren't for cross-dressing rabbits, I wouldn't know anything about classical music.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know which one it goes to, so.
Well, the old one's open, Jess, but don't worry about it.
Yeah, I know.
We'll worry about it some other time. But, yeah, you're right. If it wasn't for cross-dressing rabbits, you would not know what good music is.
That was my first exposure to Flight of the Valkyries.
Really?
Bugs Bunny, yes.
What the fuck did Bugs Bunny get involved with Flight of the Valkyries?
I'm pretty sure you could find it somewhere in the Bugs Bunny cartoons.
I'll look that shit up.
And I know he will.
Because, dear God, I know that the cartoons Cat Concerto and Rhapsody Rabbit use the same fucking piano music. And I know how that happened. The company that they sent the film to get it developed the reels accidentally sent the companies the opposites cartoon. So Warner Brothers saw Cat Concerto and MGM got to see Rhapsody Rabbit. Cat Concerto won the Oscar. Tom and Jerry was the first real threat to Walt Disney on winning Oscars for short films.
Ah, yes, Tom and Jerry.
The innovators of violence.
The best imitatable violence ever in cartoons.
Are you fucking kidding me? They're the innovator of violence. I used to have a video that was the old ECW opening. That it was like Paul Heyman screaming extreme championship wrestling, but also would say, "This is the most hardcore, suicidal, death-defying. This is the one with all the blood and gore. We call it ECW," and it's just Tom and Jerry beating the fuck out of each other with every item they can find.
And you will never see anything like Tom and Jerry
You never will.
again.
Tom and Jerry is so great because they don't need to talk. That's what the 1992 movie was wrong about. They had to make them talk. And Tom and Jerry, the music tells you everything. Same with these new movies. These new movies that they play on Cartoon Network are god awful. Tom and Jerry Meet the Wizard of Oz and Sherlock Holmes, and I'm like, they're awful. It's.
I don't think they're that new. I think they came out in the 60s.
No. These are recent. I own every Tom and Jerry short on Laserdisc.
It's pretty much the same thing when it comes to Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, they did the same thing with Scooby-Doo.
But the later Tom and Jerry's, they do talk, and they don't need to.
The original Scooby-Doo in the 60s was actually one of the best.
There's very few where they do talk. Like the few I can name is like Mouse Trouble, The $1 Million Cat, where Tom inherits $1 million, but he can no longer hurt animals. And so somehow Jerry gets 500 telegraphs, copies of the telegraph saying that Tom inherited all this money, but he cannot harm a living thing, including a mouse, the rest of his life. So, like, every time they show Tom living on Park Avenue in New York, and Jerry's there to eat his breakfast, and Jerry eats his breakfast, and Tom's going to beat the hell out of him. Jerry's like, and so Tom's just like, and Tom finally has this fucking fight. The frustration builds till the last part of the cartoon where Tom's just like, fuck it, he just rips the thing up, and the only thing Jerry could find is only a mouse, and Tom goes and beats the piss out of him, and Tom's like, hey, I just threw away $1 million, but I'm happy. And I'm like, oh dear God, that's hilarious for the ending. That has to be a Tex Avery written ending right there. And I also think about Cartoon Network. At least with Cartoon Network, they still show Tom and Jerry and the Looney Tunes cartoons. Not as prevalent as they did 20 years ago. I think what doomed Cartoon Network when they started showing their own shit.
Some of it is good. Some of it is just, why are you showing that?
Like, I like regular show. Don't get me wrong, I like regular show.
Chowder is like, why were you showing this?
Chowder annoys the piss out of John Scott, and I'm all for that.
I can't stand bubblegum.
Oh, the Adventures of,
The Amazing World of Gumball.
Gumball?
Can't stand that.
Gumball's like one of the, I wonder how high they were when they wrote that. Like, me and Megan watched it when it first came out. Me and Megan were like, I wonder how fucking high they were when they came up with this. Oh,
I've never seen it, so.
a cat.
Steven Universe